Akufo-Addo is a fraud theory.
Oh, how?
Captain, this is a man. What is it? What do you need? He's a fraud theory, Captain. What is Akufo-Addo president? How many years in here? Men are woman. This is a guy who has been shouted in the your friend saying political fringes for many years. Say our president Eddie. Fortunately enough, you're the president amount said D. The maiden edition. Okoria speeches about 4 American president Okekabo no bejina ho. Kana on kind nketenkete kura o. Me take you back to 2016. Abrana John Mahama ye president na wutie nsema na president Akufo-Addo enam political fringes eka. Major one has to do with Bosnia ye boy. John Mahama was borrowing recklessly oba onfa nyansansem, but na Ghana ni say John Mahama Bosnia na boy no ubehu Legon hospital wasibi. Opa ye nkofa Kenofurata mejina ha. Na yemfa aba ni mechi na yemisa na say kwaku Wabo Bosnia, Eurobond on Kwa raise over 13 billion. Debt in as a for now, what the buyer. So to a point, Yaka cry intimintia until they are slow. Bosnia Oji and Adia would ye chere not Ghana for command Tom William. Or mine and say, I be a point, Sebi, what team crowd who left from all right. And Captain, the other side, the number of Ghanaian youth exited the shores of Ghana. No, na me catch us. Who say ya nkra no to so be kwa broche when ya German. Hey, abroche ne boga oba ya dwen say de anigye ne we ahoprepre ne kɔ abrochire. Basa na ayensem pi e na pama manfo fi omokrom. Ne nyina has to do with bread and butter issues. Ne nyina has to do with hope for the future. Amanfo is secure not only for themselves but for their kids. Ne na say for them. I've spoken to a lot of Ghanaians omoye retirees living in the US, UK. Mraso. So where they are supposed to come home. But question now will be so more has to do with issues of health care. Or na sitting send the BCI because conditions now are no. And ya dear condition. I bet you one brabo way. So what is our man for a casa and ya casa no be pet? Namum, we are all hoping, say, you bet me building the very foundations of this country. Said and chroma SEM vision, you know. Now you bet me nyada Ghana. Na see nyada Ghana na. I'm very sure, say, yenina yemre. Because I will go back to 1957, Abra Ghana nya independence. Now we had the hope and they will chroma say, and chroma take off. The kind of industrialization drive our chassis, foundations are not only at the time, na ye say, a bajimu mere. Yes, in Yansa knew us amre no. But then chroma saw the wisdom, say, me kwaji asase, funtam akusi, the whole industrial city like Tema. Or year motorway the can. I'm told that by the time I Ghana year motorway, no, not even London in the motorway. So you can imagine the idea. And the oil in such a way say, Usiswa, Wunjina baby until you arrive at the industrial city Tema. You drive back home. That was the idea. And my companies in as for the companies are Cassia. And my buy, my captain. Go back to Tema today. What is supposed to be an industrial city is today a residential area. Our politicians are killing one another for a plot of land. Some will be so the vision we are trashing. Then you come to major companies and we are Osha say Okroma. Now no me video be on YouTube. Now I me say 1960 na Ghana share car e Okroma say. 1960 near share cars, buses akese e Okroma say. So 60-70 years after. Not just say you're China and you're crass and we don't have those things. Now you should know that we have failed. Last time now we talk about tie factory and Chroma shoe factory, sugar factory. Then I say for you see the economy be a nice one has to do with the basic things like this import. So with me a produce near ma ube here so that won't fall sick and carbon and then the more minor a change with destiny. And the young nyansa cry yet here young pesi abaya dibiano to any nafako China. Na China one of the richest country and sana Simon Kusnet order the GDP as a metric they measure economy abano. Now he says later now apply no. Oh who say na China one of the richest countries in the world. But 50 years after China degenerated one of the poorest countries near compared to your friends Sub-Saharan African countries. Then the whole thing changed. Because China realizes say I have the numbers more than US, more than UK. So why can't I leverage my numbers for economic takeoff? Then they decided to do industrialization way. And China shall see produce near Mabia and Crow for here. Because your phone na America for your phone. Na Obia Chrome ni air tobacco. China for Benny Pado to America because they are over 1.3 billion and over.
Right.
America are around 300 something million. So why na Benya? That is a strategy. enti ade bia obehu se ya no America se bi ne boy ye den kura na China ye ne inferior one na ode aba na waton wa nye ne sika saa akwananimu ama ene they've been able to leverage their number and the China industrial hub many of the Nema ye use no high when it comes to electronic gadgets and as what no growing up no now most of them every Japan ever by China taking the market and even phone krano why won't be into iPhone no Huawei ni Oppo no wine I take the center stage I ne what me turning the country around enti asomanya fortunately for us no captain we Nema ye won nyina na me say China ni half when it comes to natural resources, human resources, they don't even have it.
They don't.
But how are they able to position themselves to? Na ye to me ye nya na ya fra bro for kumumra ye nya gold o mo me fa nko mutu amoma yembi. Ye nya oil mo me fa nko mutu amoma yembi. I say ye nim nyansa e na ye te ha, but there be a ye te radio so e na ye politics and consistently no or minor air sink it to a point. There be a mekansa we another country like China. Yes, ye cedi adivalu na yesu, ye cedi adivalu na yesu. Omona transia will say, okay, dollar ni a stable currency. There is no way you can compete against the dollar. So your strategy is say, yam produce ye neama, so that we don't need dollar to go and import. Even ya kran, yam koso na yen devalue yesikano. Sebe ya foreign goods, abaya disincentive for average Chinese person to go and buy foreign goods. Because what to China, you can't buy iPhone unless you're super rich. So that money you need a phone, so you buy from Huawei. It's a strategy, and then China is the second most, your friend is saying, biggest economy in the world. I now we rub shoulder with the US. You buy a chrome here. The promises and the many things may take you back to 2016. Abana John Mahama, your president, now in Samana, President Akufo-Addo, and non-political fringes. Major one has to do with Bosnia, your boy. John Mahama was borrowing recklessly or bound for Indians, but na Ghana ni say John Mahama Bosnia no boy no ubehu Legon hospital wasibi interchange ya na wa say hospitals akese rich hospital na ye mpatadan wa ko be because me Legon na me ko hokwa ye fa dey say clinicals na ye mpatadan na nesi wo. If you go to read today you see say one of the modern facilities are state of the art. Uko Kumasi a ukoye documentary about the medical village yesi Kumasi at Offori. Yet the program say na deputy minister Frey ma assurance say oh in the next 3 months no Offori be ya adwuma till date Offori enya adwuma. Enti Busia na ye board that time no at least obetimi abobo 1 2 3 or the about the captain. Ya bobo siya ba ma no niema twa ye ho hia say there is nothing a obetimi ato wani dia hwe enra na me ka kire obi say ade be mpa na ya wo kroma say Ghana be kwakọ bon kwase abosia na ka me ne yen na be kwakọ gina China ni anim apa ne chew so wo he China ni na he be na ni tuatua na be na ni wo na Ghana ni egina China ni anim pa ne chew so omfa ne kanche na hwe awere ho a eye then other institutions in na sefo nom yagu yanim ase akire wiase obi asesabi when it comes to abrabobɔ ne aya na yebo enti busia yebo na bonte na yaka amena kosori we Ghana ni no to ani hwe kroma you will expect say obehu ne makese abran babunu wie at school onya adwuma ye nnwuma ho economy ni ukoye sika na yakobo busia na diaba but oto ani hwe kroma there is no trace how betime hu say sa sika na die we na de ye in the last time America opa yankofa kenoforata megina ha na yamfa aba ni nachi na yamisa na say kwaku wabobosia eurobond nkwa o raise over 13 billion debt ni na sefo na wo de buy so to a point ene yakakra yentimi ntua unti wo de yesrewo bosia na wo je ye ade a wo de ye kire na Ghana fo akoma ntom yem captain one hwe ya wo de ahomte ba bunaku no because onyanyan sade bia nka nkirewo bosia na mo boy na ya hye sika na gu and in some way na amanfo sorry radio so na omo ka amanfo free say oh boys aba no ye den mrantia no ye di media for no the reality is a first no and na we control the traditional media not anymore. Politics has always been the politics of narrative for Akufo-Addo people we free say Ghana for enim nyansa enti no ye benya few guys in fancy suit our more traditional media na ya spill garbage to people convincing people so yeah bibi but the fact check and the realities now there. Captain Smart wetimi asesa wo mfidie di akoba bia ese ya adwuma akwa as to whether it is true or not. You come and report. And those armchair journalism where old people sit in a chair and I may ya adwuma 20 years in and a year then impact ben what make our society. And kaete kroma yi ya beda sori na nka ya nya keta pot to be a signboard You will see you see an account for over 4 years in here. There is absolutely nothing there. Nasa amount for a can't same way no bit in general. Man, your time. Me time buy at the end. Akufo-Addo to president. The Ebian Koya me papa and Kamani Baje. But 100% of papa president. But it's not about being president. It is not about say when you. It is about say 2 million at the mouth, no papa. Nyansa dear Ben, na what dear ye, why live legacy, beja amount for. Because we see, so we are watching say Sika, the beer we are saying, I wouldn't nyansa. Because from my background, so what you say Sika is everything in life, I wouldn't nyansa. Because from the background where I'm coming from, I've been at the hospital. I've been with people, and people move at the point of their death. They had everything in life. Oh, Senke Sika nkwan ye de ji omon kwa captain. They could have doubled the pay and come back to life. But at that point, you know, and if they had opportunity to come back, Masa, they could have perceived a different life altogether. So you must be a fool to sit somewhere and say, you are a fool because life isn't about money. Captain T. Abra, your first Kwame Nkrumah, Offori Bruchira Obano. Or the department to Nebayo. Because the guy came frustrated because I'm told he wrote his law exams in the UK. He couldn't pass 1, couldn't pass 2, and out of frustration, he was shipped in. He came fully decided to work. He did not pursue well to. And Nkrumah and say a president Bakwa Obedi Ghana Kunyana Ahiana. Now he's one of them. Only estate, only a dime or East Legon, only a dime or he fine estate, but a net. The legacy of Kwame Nkrumah has transcended beyond generation and never do call Addis Ababa. Kwame Nkrumah state you esi ho. I didn't tell you say oh Africa had done with no was can question state you infancy Addis Ababa. Political textbook be Africa be no be ma. Kwame Nkrumah din every single thing about politics, leadership, governance. So Kwame Nkrumah is there. But any real estate. And how much dollars he had in his account. It is not how much way, it is the impact and the legacy that he left in his wake. I'm told it's a one African country, or more currency, or more Kwame Nkrumah Tina. Guinea. Yeah, about the saying, Guinea. So Kwame Nkrumah in Guinea. So Echesa Brabon Winyana Bonia, people remember you. So we do not need President Akufo-Addo. Emmanuel Kwesi statue, Kwesi baby, Nwan Kopa. We don't need to do that. Oba bra papa ha. Amam for besi statue amount, even a bra wu. Na amam for akayo. Cause yati ha, and I see a the African Millennium Man. Kwame Nkrumah wu over years ago. But he won. Yabisa Mandela, the new journalist no more about match about Kwame Nkrumah went to Madiba the Kobisa and said, now what's Yana Kwame Nkrumah be a woo that so I went a day way. Now so we knew Nipa meto abano because or no one kasakra enim say Otoma Kwame Nkrumah because of the impact and the legacy that he left. So we will be away and sani na say we are conversant with some of these issues your more leadership position, but it is about the impact you make. Radio out to see it's not about Sikanen as a forecast and as a driver, but it's about the impact you are making on people. The number of people who have their troubles and they can look up to you because you are a revolving point. That is all that leadership is about. By Hano, it is about pursuing certain narrow agenda, priorities in the forum. So we don't even care when I find the number. Because me kai pass Abra Obama by American president. Or they couldn't really, you know. Now the economy was a bit tumbling. Near man said Joe Biden has always been an ideal president in the shadow. At the time, Joe Biden, Obama, the possible candidate to replace him, Joe Biden. But you know what they did? They look at the economy, the terrain, just sit aside. Joe, don't come. Mama Hilary, Emra, Sabaya man for me attribute you to my failures. And my man, it was a different ball game altogether because their cause, in as much as all Democrat, only be exactly that is showing respect to for the people. By a high, so Akufo-Addo presidency what so in the last 8 years, Captain. My catcher said the whole presidency was premised on fraud. Oh yes, because Akufo-Addo himself is a fraud theory. Yes. He's a fraud theory. A concept you can study in the universities and then for. Akufo-Addo is a fraud theory.
Oh, how?
Captain, this is a man. What is it? What do you need? He's a fraud theory, Captain. What is Akufo-Addo president? How many years in here? Mena woman. This is a guy who has been shouted in the your friend saying political fringes for many years. Say our president, Fortunately enough, the president amount said the maiden edition. Okoria speeches about 4 American president okeka bom no begina ho. Kana all kind on kind nketenkete kura o. Ahoden ne kon hu ntini go and look at the video. Be citizen as for a man for speech no kabom. So in the first place, president now Obama will maiden edition. What senior the problems, the challenges of the people are. Ufru akomom e kasa chiro bono. Ono nya na akomom no furu ye. Or a man for speech no ko wi na okeka bom because personally he didn't have any vision. That is the fraud beginning or the fraud theory. Come my culture say, Sadia no ye ya fan who di no. Joe Biden, current president of America, or ye be one fan who in 1988 when he launched his campaign. Joe Biden in 1998, he was too young. A man for say, he cannot be president. But they are saying that he's too old. This is what happened. All launching a campaign, Okojina platforms, so now all kasa, and Okofa Ubiasama Waka, one tribute to that person. Then they accused him of your friends are textual infidelity, plagiarism.
That's right.
For that matter, no, he had to resign from his entire presidential whatever. And the man, the caucus be replaced now only George Bush Papa. A call contest at George Bush Papa and the winning yeah. Emma Joe Biden cotton and chain. The political career crown almost away because a Obama and a Baba revival no. That is the crime. Akufo-Addo got away with on his maiden day. Abroko real speech till date. Even the decency to apologize to Ghana and say, oh, I'm sorry. Because of the because and this affairs now, Nkrofo no control media no. And now with the click of the button, you can just go to the internet, Google, and then all of a sudden the videos were all over. But Akufo-Addo to date couldn't apologize to Ghanaians. Then he promised Ghanaians another fraud theory. Meba, I will protect the public purse. Captain, the public purse no real. Public person ayira nya say is only protecting ayira hwehwa
person ankasa na
ayira because it has been chrono upon chrono because you see in modern governance there is a reason why you don't unkosesa wa family members emegu aban because you see as a president you need to have a willpower to crack on people ever go wrong. The very moment you ship in your family members into the fray you lose one thing. That is the willpower to crack. Because your family member, when they mess up, you cannot do anything with them. That is the genesis of Ben Ali's your first and 4 Tunisia. I give rise to this. Your friend is saying Arab Spring na course no because ne fie for na yere nua na yere wofase military generals na osese omudi gum na ni ba omo so no na oman na atetia pansam. And the very moment abon kanoforata ebam old baby mama ebam na yere dada ebam ni nuam ba nie no wofase nie no eno ebe choki aban to the stand say obi afri say o amamuo na nya amamuo biem ya ofa na bie akurase pharmacy bi na wasesa ya gum say sabi ya nton nema enti captain just imagine ofa bie pharmacy shop akurase na do watenam ade na ya tapa na this can be topa omfantum because ofa ntimi nyo hwe
oh yeah opa me akohe
because ofa say ba de adin a abusiafo ba beka. That is exactly what is playing out. So me no here you who say governance na course no to them a village supermarket no ofa bie no wase o magum no moton they are sales boys.
Oh
yes and o moton di na nya ton no moton di niam na ye ton na ye di so we take stock say sabi niam na say ekoyi ana say enkoye make profit ana say ye make profit no captain whatever house no na store na gu enti Ghana store no agu enu nti na ene e ka me ne yenya to the stand say ye de China foka he ye bilateral creditors ye ntimi nti omoka wo because we have to beg China to forgive us. Paris Club ye first saying other international way ye do omoka and the big one among them has to do with the commercial space Eurobond. Captain William said so why investment kakra you know very well say among all the investment portfolios the most secured stock your friend saying bond and your stock because stock no obetimi ada sorry adebeche na fluctuations na se for usika nyina wo lusu ebetimi aba ma na di ya ma but when it come to your friend saying bonds there secured coupon rate given to you maturation date only and wo twen say esu a okwakwaju usika and for the first time in the history of this country captain Ghana for mudo musika koto bond and omusika akam
dabe meka ho
exactly Michael Branson ka ho
sika be de top bond ma me bakofo me de 2J kufo ya 2 ne din the Addo for the buy me de koto bond ma JA kufo akola aketwa e was stand chart e ka ho
that so but that is supposed to be the most secured investment Albania and
abaya fa kufo akola aketwa sika
and then President Akufo-Addo beka kire yen say President Akufo-Addo beka kire say oh Ghana for munsi abotere yen nyina yen share the burden What is our president the cancer as a citizen? You will calm down because minim. So South Korea, there was a time. I buy no de car to a pointer. Not on to me no citizens who say I buy wagon papa on it team and yen pet and all yet and I said be a car but yan kasa best lie. Captain, read about it. So for sunlight your one kasa we no good we were diamond we sika a sunlight on more ring a good and the command buying say on town on faculty anaka. And the Chelsea a buyer or getting nipa on nipa so getting home. That is what you do. But this is a government that or catch us a title belt. President through ni belt na watateno. The belt no horse crowd mobi. Na fuka tu no didi me. And na pensioners sabi. Omo time so se. Omo saka omo sika. And na kroma sa what the hospital abonso obi di 60 years, 70 years, 80 years a captain because of environment the conditions aye women know. A medication upon a cocktail of medication also. You can't exit. Who exit obewu and yet anti-hypertensive na ye anti-diabetic and yet diabetic several conditions because at that age you know what comes with it. A man for say investment in omodo musika captain. The number of mpanimfo mu ewo kroma na no kama pharmaceutical papa no fi Offori bia no say what in the audio no anche wawu okọ senchi beach resort kase na ewo ho na mahama na amanfo kwotena kwaye we bi some time ago no papa no wawu all because of this same investment amanfo kwaye omu abinding in sato musika so enti citizens are being forced to sacrifice but the question is government are you ready so what to when you hear the other side state institutions are what mind sika di nkrasesem and at the end of the day no abina bunani agu so asif say hwe nko so and there's over TV Bank of Ghana say launch new building. This is a banker or say papa kwasindium around the bank aboka we ato Asian around the bank aboka enti yengu omo bank ema individuals o musical bank ni nyina yengu no captain Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion Ghana cedis unprecedented in the history of this country. Ene omusi building besim ne adesin to me the edge or to me explaining anything to anybody because at some point in time I buy no call at abonte so kobo say ya pam on say challenge na mo free say ye nkrase for sika na mo je no book na makuki no we can't give you any money. They came back and fall on Bank of Ghana say printing sika na fama. So the guy turned Bank of Ghana into a printing press. And that's already no pa. Yes, so mun coffee. Ya da ho na ya print cash good system num. Ya ni buy ho so no. Na inflation do 60% and over. Or mine no adidia pansam adibi enyeye because production low, more currency floating in the system. And then I would be economy not titia pansam and I did to ho. So sa niema we nyina na Ghana for ma de bedru say ya transie ne. Na ye take peep into 2016. Na ye hwe niema na ye koso. Now you hear promises and not President Akufo-Addo de Ghana for. Now you hear baby Yababedru and Neya. Captain, you see that there is a huge gap between the reality and the promises made. And the sad aspect of this whole thing, Komakat is a presidency, governance, leadership, a human institution. You can't expect everything to go but Captain, there is one thing that you need to manage. Your relationship with the people. Makacha said the only relationship that might exist between power and the people should be that of intellectual kinship and mutual respect. And you respect the people. You read the sentiment, the mood of the pulse of the nation. Now what they are here. But there seems to be certain attitude, a certain posture of arrogance. Ghana for Niamana see a man for a can no. Just a president na kasa de say on fa de o kan okra say sabi we toy bi kra ma no. Enti de ono pe Offori say ebe avenue into the political score no whatever no. That is exactly what they are doing pursuing in this country. Enti sa oba ha abra schools ne na se for niema nkoye niema tetia pansa mo kroma Ghana for expect say aban beye bibi aredimu yegu banks ama amamfo sika kekam ne na se for no aban betam Ghana for sika eda ko sika cathedral captain cathedral ne yentimi nwie ye besisa amamfo sika kutu amena abujaje omo kan asem na the party don't say ni say ye bujaje sedan to gu ye ansa na ye nya land no eba besi kutu amena wo ho ase $58 million ye nya sofo akese for mo sorry this project we ye chi how many times a month na radio so an kan cho say na ye no emwo wo bia but ekoduru ba bia krono sem ne na se for ba mu no then we heard from these pastors men of God almost say ye ko Israel ko fa man na ne ye fa biblical gardens abakroma no Afei, omonam we sorry my free board no so. We sorry I'm a free board no so. You say, who free board no so that is not the issue. The issue is that sikana ya wasting away. So how do we get our money? And I come back to the question of holding people accountable for whatever that they did. So fraud theory now, one of the major things that Ghana for Gina so the two Abama Kufa and say, oh papa we na some deal. I told the idea. Or he will play hardball with you, corruption, yeah. Because anti-corruption campaign and all running Kruma captain and all the buyer. So Obeda sorry Kruma. Scandal now starts here and it's a cash for seat or the presidency. Common investigation into that particular matter till date, we don't know because NDC came out with their report, MPP came out with their report. At the end of the day, we couldn't even adopt any. So that particular investigation, you know, is a waste. Now, no, yet, man for who dollars upon dollars, the paradigm. We listen to whole sort of foolish and nonsense, your friend saying, explanation as to why she had that particular money.
Oh, yeah, somebody.
And so when I'm catching confirm not you could in and somebody. Captain, anti Sanya money in number same course. So now you're free said the state will commit state resources to investigate some of these things. But in the end, what happened? The matter has been killed. Special prosecutor lamenti. At some point, you can't some say and say, oh, no, I kill matter. He had to come. So, Tale, minyan kele matter biya. Many me drew a point that I thought some money laundering and a new intimidate Yoko. Say Yoko investigate. Tiwaji case in an outro letter command Attorney General say, when about me then you to train baby. And then the woman killed the matter. And Tiwani ya kwasi ni state you, and your kwasi Yoko animu. Say on a hey, we are jokers. Now I say when government changes some of these even that very night, you know. They should petition the government to destroy all these things.
Yeah, the way
some state you know,
the way you petition government. Oh, yeah, no answer call reverse now.
Some share baby. People understand what I'm saying.
Let me say we no answer articulate call reverse. Na ebu no. Oh, where
Alaska, hey, Captain. Me say people will understand what I mean because some of this nonsense we cannot sit here and tolerate some of ththese things because at the time I Ghana for here near ma say be nipa abrabo asesa bread and butter issue. Yet to kroma na yakofa amrant here NAPCO stop gap measure till date a voice in it. So you see. Say Tiana see a cassia chronic issues now. Can my mom conclude this at then Papa na mom penasem. Why will anybody on his right senses say I hate my president? It's not possible. We don't do that politics. So we are not anti-government, activists and whatever. We just want the right thing to be done because I just want Ghana to be a just society where say a brand here sorry or need to cover phone coffee and send what did Oba sorry, I just turn who cheap the my baby what did but the same cockrafo na who are supposed to lay proper foundation, you know. Omo says what this sister years and I see a man in ministerial position, you know. Or couple land and no cofa crowd 23 years or any PA.
O say
me say a cockrana had to lay proper foundation, you know. Yaman the post, you know, or two can couple land and no far buy you 23 years or any PA. So you see, there is no motivation. Captain, there is no motivation. Say only be to fix the problems. But economy be we are see young people. Let them have access to capital. Because Captain, obi already 20 years, obi already 30 years. Onyesika, they risk, they invest. Obi already 60 years, 50 years. When they get the money, they wait for the returns to take care of their life because we're seeing war crimes. So it is that everywhere. It's the reason why America adopted a policy to get a lot of people in because they are aging. Because we are younger, who Falari are offer, who iPhone 6 are offer, who iPhone 16 are offer, who are offer. But we are already 60 years or iPhone 15 years. What I say? So those people don't grow economy. But the young people who are supposed to transact, do things to get these things, buy mortgage, and we are already 60 years on top mortgage. And the economy will still dip. So you need young people. Say you need answer. Me say kebe pia capital. They say young people in some kroma say because they are the very people who are ready to experiment. But these old people are the very people sikano mo wiano. Then they channel everything into real estate because that is the new deal. You the wash sika e kroma say because so we nya sikano the koto bank. If say we nya sikano wa. Na me nya me the koto nchensee the koto cement. E de kosi dan koto asase. Say emfa channel bi am. No say dan ni si ho. Then me then I set bank account. Then when you buy the land, then the money comes. Then it means that a genuine money from the sales of that building. But why you got the money to build that, nobody ask. And they don't know to chrome her. If you were US crown now, make you transfer scanner because it's genuine because a real estate car. That is how people wash money. Saying. At the end of the day, money is supposed to go to young people to do business and as if no, that money is not there. And then back to the main Akufo-Addo story and then as a captain.
Fraud theory.
Akufo-Addo is a fraud. They were chamo. And I know I'm a catcher say all corner was sell mine no. And I can find the Chinese version and all the neighbors on my metan your fence Ghana for so. Because you see, there is nothing Akufo-Addo yet Bawumia and your part. Because Bawumia and Anna 2016 only did the lectures, everything. Chastising, bastardizing, insulting, and a whole lot of stuff. Giving theories and as for say, oh, dollar rate, CD rate, ya borrow do don't as for no Twitter, it is all over. Then he comes over. Then Ghana economy, I experiences shocks in the history of this country. A been see that. Because this is the first time. A coming a year to a point, a Yakwa declares a challenge we can pay. This is the first time you default on your debt. This is the first time into me we have inflation numbers and as for to the extent that even nipa we Ghana for mudu busika wa buying bosiano. Yentimi into moka. So this is the narrative. You don't hear Bawumia anywhere talking about the economy. No, say oh yeah, IT, your friend say specialist. Creating an impression on the internet by Ghana. But who be say your friend is saying digital infrastructure ben Leo Chroma. He will not be able to tell you anything because all the infrastructures were laid and over. But because Onama all proud in Hunintino, he's making look like. But the core responsibility is the economy. And the economy not to tear Pansama say all that they have to do is to go around the country and apologize to Ghanaians. That is all that Bawumia and Akufo-Addo as or more. From one ahimfie to another, from one town hall to another, apologizing to Ghanaians for investing faith, trust and confidence in them. And the Omodemaya return, a broken heart, a distraction, the fact that the economy will take years to recover. This is the reality. So we need decency. Now we begin to have a catch Ghana for say, young to Abamau, when you know, say, Vice President now, you are not just a pushover, you are not a sissy. But rather, we are a partner to whatever that has happened. Now, so we say Ghana for Abamau. Now, the question is, based on what? And a Ghana for because you see, the whole essence of presidency, basic thing has to do with trust. Can I trust Captain Smart? Answer idea Juma we ever no. And yes, Okasa and answer party. One thing, are you reliable? Can you do the job? Say you hear what beba or time, so beba. Because you can be the best, but every time near Casabraha 1 o'clock. Ubedra na about 3. What I say? So trust is key. So my question is, can Ghanaians trust Bawumia when it comes to some of these things? Because the track record are there to tell you are part of this whole messy economy that we are in now. So Senka Ghana is a serious country, now is serious. Do you think Senka will be able to have the courage to come and say, the most important day in his life, the political career has to do with the unveiling as a vice president. That's the biggest political stage ever in his life. What did he do?
He messed up.
The guy used the day to create the biggest scandal in our political history by going off on Nkrumah. So I know the day, what he did, people didn't even talk about it, but they were talking about this. And it has been that upon that. Oh, no, education minister, okay, say, diploma teachers are born.
Training college.
Yes, and there are several instances, what then did. Watch it say, when it comes to leadership, he's nowhere close. Because you see, you can have a bad president. But you can have a deputy president that will complement it for the shortfalls because the whole essence of vice president in Asifo is to get somebody to fill in your shortfalls for you so that you complement and become a whole. Because in Nkrumah time now there was nothing like
a vice president.
Exactly.
So vice president
Exactly. So or complement it. But captain, maybe more problems, economic problems. Ghana for trust me. Now me po be manaba patena me. Now kofo obi ase be under ne reputation as for share gatab na wouldn't ya. Then it means nipa na oba bedi oboso no. You have no respect for them. It's the reason why na no hininto no MPP ni. MPP former general secretary catch us say Ghana for tenase santo abama Akufo-Addo be but then a chance that they will never respect the people of this country. Because Jenia Ghana formed in recent times. Baby I na nam na baby eba bedru enne na se ye koso to abama MPP aban bi ma e chese yankasa ye nim nyansa is the reason why I first remember radio so we catch us wherever in the world that we sustain bad governance nobody is a victim. Nobody is innocent. We are all sponsors and accomplices. Because you contribute to giving oxygen of publicity to what is happening. And we also have the same thing to stop this nonsense. Sometimes it's not about where you stand or where you belong to. U.S. elections hereby I teach a man for a lot of lessons.
Oh yeah, sure.
Donald Trump no be dissociating from him.
Maybe the other supporting.
Yes, and as I know they were winning. And your friend is saying all the liberal medias in the U.S. now were bastardizing, insulting, and so forth. But when it comes to the core issues, the issue is that America cannot afford to have a weak president because you are the leader of the free world. You can't have a weak president leading America. Umanya no can who be stage so ultimate the 3 minutes esre and some can
Hey Kamala.
Yes, do you think people will take you serious when you are going to sit on the round table with the Talibans and the Houthis and the way to have a discussion to your friends say get global peace? You think they take you serious? So you see, leadership, trust a man for wo is everything. But that is what we don't have. But enam say political class no respect for us, and they think that they can buy a man for conscience and then as for they can just do anything and get away with it. But me I look back. Now me share politics. Captain, you've been around for quite a while. So utu when you back to 2000 and kufueba. Utu when you here 2004. Your friend saying 2012. Then as for yaba biduro higher. You should and you know very well say politics are changing. There has been a lot of changes. And never be agree. We've taken a radical turn. Young people are taking the center stage. You cannot fool them anymore. Because it's so easy to access information. Now me catch that KSM say no young person consumes information and sit idle. When you consume information, it's one mensa. When you're dying overboard, then the reaction will come. Who consume information? You will act on the information because you become critical. You begin to ask questions. You want to know why you did this. Yes, many captains, madam for no. Yes, why you say? I want to know why you did that. I'll question you. You understand? The mere fact that doesn't mean say, oh, no. That era is long gone. That is water. The old class cannot wrap their head around how we are today. Seeing young people asking all the relevant questions. But I'm saying, say, Captain, we are Ghana near. Obi Antanya Kufuado. Hey. The only time you can make money is this time.
Come here, rich, papa.
So it's not about money. So it's not about money. Then what? So it is about your conviction. Sitting down, realizing, say, this is not what we bargained for. This is not what I fought for. This is not what I who sent come in Sabaka and Alanchramantin of all people said, why is it a party? MPP or Hininto Hassana. No. This is not the
MPP.
Paula Fokoko. Yes. So you see, we need to be
Addo, former Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry.
Yes. So politics, and I'm saying it is about conviction based. Ideologies are there, but it is about the person doing right or wrong. That is why sometimes I disagree with Ghanaians. Just a Ghana bay, just a third force. But I'm saying you are just jokers. You see, when you have a problem, you don't run away from the problem. We can still have 2 political parties. Hold them accountable. Say you vote the person out.
Sure.
What I say? Say ne ya 2 abana Mahama president or China. Na or say Odin Semuna. The only thing you do is to vote him out. Because once you met radio, so Abra president didn't say then you support him. It's not possible. So when we begin to do this, we will be able to put them on their shoes. In America, for instance, a 2-party has been in existence. But look at the rate at which they are changing them. Donald Trump by people felt say they voted against him. Papa way by. Also more than will be atom. I said you more dama or mine will be able to gumna man for across the biasa. And then how do we ensure the security of that country? So at the end of the day, the people voted against him and then they bring in a new leader. So at the end of the day, so what's your Koreanos who are captain? Obey careful. That is all that matters. And over careful. And at this point, ye nina me ni and I may santini and I had a woman to me in the park. Let your conviction speak for you. Tama so say you better answer beside all the questions. Abaye no dey na manya film. What is the interest? What is the future like? How do we make sure say you betimi e dey o man na si ba bia sabi o man no da ache be ye. The Ghanaian dream na ye ka ho asem no. How are we going to achieve that? These are the relevant questions that we need to change. But me say at this point, these people have crossed their Rubicon. Tama so we need to vote them out. The only reason we are voting them out and they say you bet me hold you accountable for the many crimes. We have a Ghana Namia.
But when na be.
Oh, Minshan in person that. Me who know I was Casa radio, so but I've never met him in person. And Sautie and Sama or Kana. You might wish to say, oh yeah, will be our part of the old politicians. I said we might contribute to where we are today. But as a young man, no, you free say certain new narrative bet me pay up. Now politics na yeah serious politics. Now young that old cheap way of doing politics. It's unfortunate because some now only radio so are all kind, you know. And you see a contradiction or contradicting who throughout. So you ask yourself, so where are we going as a country? One, also some media fair press conference. Legit, your friend is saying, brigadier. I can't say, I'm sure some brigadier no one. It is a free some media fair can't say my father when I inquire. He has every right to respond to the issue. Again, some media fair legit can't say. And somehow also you ended up saying allegations upon allegations upon allegations. So as I walk as a man from to some media video in Tungu, now they are all kind of mum, Sekofi watch it, a recruit to tax. That is the word he used. A trainee among for Kumase to cause violence. I know the day you are protecting somebody's integrity because of a woman there. Now, Kofi watching one friend woman on the integrity, no talking got the man's and Okofie. Only any integrity to protect. I think when you are speaking, we need to be very smart. We need to speak as an intelligent people because you see, there are a number of people out there listening to us. Oh no, me boom fu yeah. But you see, I'm so disappointed, sir. Politics, the young people in it, you know, I'm hoping that we need to have an honest conversation. I bet me we need to have honest conversation because you see, in some now all seeking to prove a point says Sabi he's speaking to fools like gullible individuals they are not discerning. But we are very discerning. For instance, Abronya Sama walking, Abronya Tina radio, so the video has been trending. Minimum be some medium vikas or can, but there is a video of your first Abronya. Or say ya bo NPP niwo wenchia ya bo NDC for 10. Just the video is so nasty and I was even expecting like a police for react. So it's not as if say onyan cancer asem no. But the most important part has to do with this buffer stock issue. Also are a board member of buffer stock. Captain. Ada abrantie timinya kukodro ka kire say oh nothing. Shinsi ye cheap politics. But there has been real correspondences, document upon documents. You're writing to the buffer. Your friend saying FDA. The company was seeking some changing date in my Emma FDA catch up say you mean changing date because you're manufacturer. Because me run me catch yourself from my background. You can say idea I aspire. Officially, it doesn't mean say a cycle won't mean you. But what it means is say the manufacturer can no longer guarantee the safety of that product. And do call you swa obi bo on your wara wo jejeje. That is what it means. So FDA catch you say idea no mono enye. And you go back to the company. I think the company no catch you say mutimi meet certain conditions and then you can preserve it for you can have it for 3 years. As to whether they went through that procedures or not, and NSA FDA extended period, for several months up to April 2024. These are the factual realities, and in the end, some people are arrested in Kumasi and a call any yomo. I know the day the food ended up with buffer stock. Is it not true? Say food no wholesome. Is it not true? Say you distributed to a man for. Is it not true? Say food na you can say you package. These are real issues that you should explain as a buffer stock, whatever.
Or a butcher. You
say we need to get serious. That is what I'm saying, sir. We need to review this policy of rewarding people with appointment. And as for you see, and yes, because of cheap politics in Intino, we will end up enlisting a lot of easy minds. You can't easy mind as what as here. We will end up enlisting a lot of easy minds into critical positions where you expect them to bring intelligence to bear.
In fact, I want to go for a commercial break.
Captain, serious. Because you see, issue no ba it is not about say NDC and say MPP. There are critical issues, because just imagine, say akraketwa consuming aduana to say the danger you are exposed to, and these are the factual realities. And some no, this company in question, me catch say even 2021 Auditor General report. So omu distribute unwholesome food. So this is a company that has a culture of distributing unwholesome food. Now as we have to as a serious government official respond there it's just politics now. Obi na your propaganda na you go into elections. Food now we know obi the politics for what? We need to speak to the real issues and I think say and then no ebia na we fit. Now say 1990 no kasa. This is no 1990. Yes. This is 2024. Young people are very critical, they are very discerning. And the war can't say now. Just try to speak. And some no say they sit here, some be nipa better was here. Men yen sa politics kasa because and yen nipa no mutio no and ya full soldiers in etio. There are critical minds who are listening, and whatever that you say, no, I'm best subjected to critical scrutiny. Now, young who say politics, now yes, serious politics, and yet there be an NDC and MPP politics. Now issues near brushing us because I say we are okay and for NDC home and for MPP home. You need to address the issue because there are parents home who are worried. There are parents who are home who are worried. The documents suggest say indeed such food has been distributed. There has been a number of correspondences exchanged with the FDA, the company in question, and the parent manufacturer. Nina seek to suggest say a change date. You know how do you change date? Abras adena spy. Yes, no. Now, food not ended up in schools now. Even if a mere allegation, you see, a cause of panic among the general public. So, as a government official, yeah, you speak wisdom to them to allay their fears. You don't just brush it aside and say, "Oh, my NDC for no politics." However, how you think the platform hates you, it's an opportunity for you to reach out to a base. So, politically, no, strategically, and you're wise to avoid a station because you think and you're friendly. Because me hostile territory because if you're able to win one soul, it's a plus.
I remember say President Kufoka say union reps no more call Radio Gold. We're like yes, old man.
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, that is being politically savvy.
Radio Gold says
yes. Yes. And me political parties
wow.
Yankwaha no wa na wutu amana because obetina how you reach out to people. As a politician, you need convert. So you use the platform.
Ivan Mameno ase.
Yeah, we. But my men can't worry about elections, no.
Okay.
Captain, I think that going into this year's elections, no. Ghanaians and that's up to Ghanaians to decide. But the fact is that Ghanaians are really ready for this year's elections. Because I heard the experiences for over the years. People want to use the ballot to make your friend saying a statement. And we a state institution, we a EC, we a government, we a police, we a soldier, and so forth. Don't ever think say you can use your influence, your power, the gun, whatever, to bend the legitimate will of the people of this country. Because at the end of the day, the will of the people will prevail. Whoever decides or stop, will rather become a casualty. So don't you think say we have the guns, we have the EC, let the people of Ghana decide their own fate. Don't try to bend this will because the experiences are Ghana for a form no, they will not lie low for anybody to bend the legitimate will. Yahu be paying Togo. So the folk na a man So you how many people can you kill? So the reliance on this brutalities because who they see what a chiman. When innocent civilians were shot dead by military and police people till date, nobody has found a sense investigate Nipona Wukwa. President call her uncle be pass and be a catcher techiman for no say me buafu because man to abama me. That particular anger is still in the people. So nobody is going to the ballot to say obi na me so jandina me way dabi. This is the day Ghana folk decided their own destiny. So give them that particular power. Come catch say Rollins a crop better 19 years and no hwe na hu no se form. President Kufuor fear ne. Mahama bayo koye. No so hwe na hu no. Power is transient. So don't you dare sit there say me na me wo to me intino me handi over na I will use no. Oh yes sir, or mine because the experiences, the economic experiences Ghanaians have gone through, no, they are not going to lie low, sit aloof and watch anybody take over this country in the name of men and more power. We are military near, use nyansa, use wadjing, don't allow anybody to use you because power no, a bet me at any point in time, but Juma the reputation of Ajuma na no, you need to safeguard it. It's the reason why this critical state institution like the IGP in the police, the military in the CDS, they should know, sir, the allegiance is to the people of this country, to the constitution and to the flag, not to anybody who appointed you. It is to Ghana. We need to ensure, sir, we create a platform, very fertile platform. A Ghana nibetimi akọ polling station akoto number making sure that the vote is counted and at the end of the day say kwaku na ba we know say banana na ba we know that is up to Ghanaians to decide but such machinations na me intimidating we know oh yeah you will be the first person to become a capsule because me say Ghana for are really ready
for this year's elections.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Sir, the two and now share in papa is here bibia your set men how share video na say me and J whom the number wo fa na contact here na your more direction no meaning say at the papa bia e be bo ho da we for Ken TV bia no ye ka say e ye nokore ya hwehwe ma hunu nti e na ye bo ho da we enti nyame adom ye ma me nso so no o support Kennedy compare kwa Japan or you business woman enti mo ye nyina ye support the business women almost support Kennedy Japan na omo business no enko so enti we de ni die kwan so me sada me nsayem se open konwa set atop agu fee ana se wadwumam E and J home decor we dey fa number na frɛ the be more direction but your own person be ba hampa ya nkasa de bugu kamu na ya de abrɛw menim sɛ we are for Ken Ghana for no beboa ama your mama business no akoso for any enquiries we dey fa number no yeah we are for Ken you say ade a ye bo ho da robia no your papa asemba come and hold us responsible.
So say you say same if you Royal Gallery wo opekuma and into jema me number no ni ndin kita wo dem 0537 314546 0537 314546 na man na me de atudwa ama no from ma me no ni ndin kita wo de so person ye say wo ba no mfanya na ye flo ana say ye say wo ba no mfanya bibi e fa na nanom ne ehema asem ho and dem e kan for Royal Gallery e de ama say from no ni o ndin kita wo de o mbe say wo ba no so de ye bibi e wo school ana say mpo wo to e de amuna wo nua e wo amunane ana say wankasa wo to na wa ton baby biala wo biala Drivi, baby bia wo won sebeka so wo Ghana ha so wo amonane baby bia wo bia wo fra maamia wo ni bedin kita wo de na wo so be siesie na wo ba no na wo aye feye papa.
The foundation of every kid's education is important to every parent. That is why Leap International School is here to give your kids a solid foundation. The school that cares about its environment and seeks to transform it is one that cares about the education and well-being of its kids. The school has a playing ground, a bus to convey the kids in and out of school, as well as a well-furnished facilities and resources to groom the kids to future leaders. Not forgetting the well-learned teachers that are patient with the kids to ensure understanding is easy. They are located at Amanfrom off the Pokwasi Amasamango. For more information, call 0246 928 031 or 0246 098 067. Be part of a school that leads, learns, evolves, acts, and develops through sound education. Lead International School, the next leaders.
School na batan biara de ne baro ko hono ni yo. Oye Rainbow Montessori International School. Yeah. Rainbow Montessori International School. What you from Kratchi? Because the JHS. The Rainbow Montessori International School from ana. What been wrong? What's the what the Montessori curriculum in a syllabus? No what the children are the teachers wo hona. When you know why degree holders what the abutana badoyan what the trauma from anadio. Na Rainbow Montessori International School. Wakitaba funyoman what the trauma from anate. From anyone not doing boy wrong. Wakita ultra modern science laboratory, computer laboratory, library and research center, art and sculpture laboratory, hygienic canteen, now for a clinic. Na moye nika 1 point there. Rainbow Montessori International School. Oye boarding house. Inyo into onfahu baby awo biara. Wawo from any batuma ba school. Onfahu there watakwa. Takrade, Elibo, Cape Coast, Accra, Kumasi. One boarding house facilities now. Oye modern standard. Now wash for papa. It's a house master and house mistress. What you want to a boarding house no? It's a new Robiara. Bambo another security no see sure. It is Wabo from Anabra. The Ebo Rainbow Montessori International School. It was Takwa in Soyem, opposite police station. It is said Obaba Rainbow Montessori International School. To what you nada? Osan Wabat Shana the Papa. Emanazamsna. What 111. It's a quadruple missing forms. It was Hantaman Rubber, Watercon Soyan branch. Freyene 0277 100 823. Rainbow Montessori International School. In Moframa Wanda, China, one for him. Oshasuaha. It's a Hana Bartan Biara. Ordinary from a river.